Hey athletes, I'm Haley Herdman, former D1 basketball player, mental health therapist, and mental performance coach for athletes.
And I'm Naomi Yim, also former D1 basketball player, athlete mentor, and mental health advocate.
And we are the hosts of Mental Training Room. This is the space where athletes get real about the mental side of sport.
Whether you're on the court, field, or just figuring it all out, we've been there.
And we're bringing you the conversations we wish we had as athletes in hopes to help you become mentally elite.
Let's train the mind like we train the body. Welcome to the Mental Training Room.
Today in the Mental Training Room, we're joined by someone who's been through it all, from college basketball to pro ball overseas, and most recently, Love Island. Chris Seeley is a 6'8" forward who played Division I basketball at Utah, Fresno, and Cal State Dominguez Hills. Over the course of his college career, he became known for his athleticism, versatility, and relentless work ethic on both ends of the floor. After college, he took his game international, playing professionally overseas, most recently in Indonesia. But Chris's story doesn't stop on the court. He recently stepped into the spotlight in a whole new way as a cast member on Love Island USA, showing the world a different side of himself, confident, funny, and unafraid to be vulnerable on national television. Today, we will be talking about the mindset behind every pivot, how he handled multiple transfers, the pressure of the portal, adjusting to life overseas, and what it was really like putting himself out there on reality television. So welcome to the Mental Training Room.
Yes.
Thanks for being here.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
Oh, we're so excited to have you here.
I appreciate it.
This is, obviously, you are a close friend of Nay's, but just to be able to pick your brain in a different light than people might have seen you recently is such a pleasure. And we're so grateful that you're here today.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys got to see that side of me.
Yes.
It's not everybody does.
Okay, so walk us through a little bit on how your basketball career started and maybe how old were you when you first started playing basketball and go from there.
Well, when I first started playing basketball, I think I was about like 8
Okay.
when I took it seriously. I grew up playing soccer most of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, for sure. When I was like 4, I think I started soccer and I was obsessed. And then when I grew and I was taller than everybody in the school, I was like 8. So I was like, oh yeah, this is easy.
How
Yeah.
tall were you at 8 years old?
Like, I don't know, like 5'5" maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty tall. And then I was about to quit in 8th grade. I wanted to just live like that regular type of lifestyle, no sports. But I grew again. So I went
10
from
more feet.
5'10" to 6'4" in one summer.
Wow.
What?
And I was like, okay, like
Oh
I
my
can dunk
gosh.
now. Like
Yeah.
this shit is about to be really easy.
Yeah.
So took it more serious then. And then by senior year, I had offers. So I just really took it serious then. So now we're here. I'm pro.
Yeah.
So
That's
What
awesome.
was the moment that you knew like, okay, I need to start pursuing this for long-term purposes? Was it because you grew 5 feet in one summer?
that, and then I also like whenever I would play good competition,
Yeah.
like it would be the same result as if I was playing like people who don't even hoop on a
Right.
regular at school.
Right.
So once I started to realize that and realize like, okay, I can keep up with the dudes that are so like called the best in the country, or whatever. Like I know I could take it serious. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome. I bet that was a surreal moment. I mean, as it is for many athletes of like realizing like, oh shit, like I'm actually really
Right.
good at this. And then
Right.
the offers start to come in
Right.
and it's like, okay, let me really lock in and take this to
Yeah.
the next level.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what was a little bit about the recruiting process for you? Did it start in high school, middle school?
It started in high school.
Okay.
I think I got my first offer like sophomore year, junior year, and it was from Cal State Bakersfield.
Wow.
And I remember from then on to about senior year, I only had 2 offers, which was Bakersfield and Northridge.
Okay.
And I was about to commit to Bakersfield, but my AAU program allowed me to play like that one last summer after
Yeah.
I graduated.
Yeah.
And I just went all out. And I got, I think, like 18 offers that summer. And
No
so,
way.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how I ended up with Utah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
So it wouldn't even happen that way. So shout out
Yeah.
to that.
What was your mindset going into that summer of playing, knowing that you only had like 2 offers kind of coming out of high school? You're going to go play this tournament, see what happens. What was your mindset like?
I'll do a comparison. So like before then, the summers before that, I would just not coast, but like I knew I was going to be seen by college coaches. So I wouldn't go like all out, like not give a fuck. You know what I mean? Oh, can I cuss? on
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
podcast? Okay.
Because
Not give a fuck. But when I was told like, okay, this is your last chance. Like, if you really want to make it to the high level, like you got to go all out. Like, don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and then I ended up just excelling at that, and then I ended up at Utah. So
Yeah.
That's so cool. It sounds like that saying where it's like leave everything on the court or like play every game like it's your last game. It sounds like you really took that to heart.
yeah, I had to because
Yeah.
I just wanted like that top tier, not just basketball, but like education as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So an opportunity. So I had to get it done.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And then from there, you ended up committing to Utah.
Yeah.
What was that transition like for you going from high school to college, being a freshman, kind of going through that process of adjusting to college athletics?
It was a huge shock. Like, and I didn't, now like being as mature as I am, like I wish I can go back and change some of the shit that I did because
That's too.
like
Yeah.
I came in thinking that I was the shit for real. Like
Really?
Pac-12, like you think, you big man on campus. And I got a huge awakening. Like I was starting to be late to class, practice, like, and I got hurt. I had to get surgery. Was out for the whole season. Like it was just a lot. But like just like mentally, you get in these moments where you don't get like depressed, but like overwhelmed because going from a student athlete in high school is way different than you guys know. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
So it's a huge shock, especially at that level where it's like you're expected to be at a certain level every day.
Yeah.
It's it was a huge wake up call. But those are things you got to learn. You know what I mean, to move on and do better. So yeah.
What do you wish that you knew in high school that you could have prepared yourself a little more mentally going into college?
How disciplined you have to be, because these coaches are making sure like that you're in class and that you're actually doing, what you need to do. And they won't even hesitate to put your ass on the bench if you're not. So that for sure, I wish I would have known because like in high school, teachers don't care.
Right.
Like you're big man on campus for real.
Right.
You don't have to do your homework, like nothing.
Yeah.
So, but in college it's completely different. So yeah, probably that, honestly.
Yeah. It's in high school, I feel like there's more of like a athlete student type of identity. But then when you get to college, depending on the university, obviously, and depending on now, I feel like your the kind of clout, I guess, that you bring with yourself,
Right.
it's usually always student athlete. Like they get on you for missing class, not going to study hall.
Right.
And like it's like the coaches kind of become your parents in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And whereas maybe coaches in high school, it's like, oh, this is kind of like a fun escape from being at home, like
Right.
not having to do my
Right.
chores, not having
Right.
to
Right.
clean up the house, whatever it is.
Right.
But no, in college, it's like they are watching your every move.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
And that is a huge piece for those young athletes looking to play college is like you have to start being disciplined on your own
Right.
at the younger age.
Yeah.
Because then that transition won't be as stressful or negative for you, honestly. Because like you said, there's that factor of like the overwhelming thoughts that come in. And for some people like us, like depression, anxiety sets in.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just such a huge adjustment that a lot of athletes aren't ready for.
That's real. 100%.
So at Utah, you spent a year there or how many? 2 years at Utah.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of them was a red shirt year. Okay. What went through your mind and what was like the thought process like for you entering the transfer portal and choosing your next school?
Again, I thought I was hot shit for even putting myself in the portal and having that decision just because I wanted more, even though I was a freshman and I should have waited. I wanted more because I knew what I brought to the table. So I'm going into the portal thinking I'm about to have like all these different types of offers. When really I only had about like 8. I'm thinking I was going to have like 20, like, oh, Kentucky or whatever it is, coming from Pac-12, you just automatically think, but I didn't. So, and then when my hometown school reached out, I was like, okay, no brainer, like hometown hero type thing, you know what I mean? I get to see my family and be like all around them all the time. So I took it, but honestly, that was a huge mistake. Looking back, like I would have never chose that school. But it is what it is. So.
Looking back, would you have stayed at Utah? Because I feel like now there's so many kids that go into the transfer portal because of so many reasons.
Yes.
It was a little bit different back then.
Yeah.
But looking back, would you have stayed at Utah? And before you even left, did you have a lot of film? Like, I feel like this is a learning moment for a lot of athletes because people think, oh, yeah, I'm at a high level school. I'm going to be able to go somewhere else easily and pick whatever school I want to go to. But that's not the case. No. And I feel like I wish a lot of athletes knew you need to have film, you need to have stats in order to get kind of what you want. So if you could speak on that.
Well, shit, in my situation, I only played, 4 minutes a game, I think, that year. So, and then I only averaged maybe, I think, 2.5, something like that. It was low as hell. But I guess for people that didn't have my type of situation, it's a lot more, for me, I think it's a lot more than just film. Because you can have a great film, but how is he in the classroom? How's his character? Like, does he have, you know what I mean?
True, yeah.
So that comes into play as well. And those are the type of questions, like you guys know, like that coaches are going to ask first before they even ask about their film, because you can play like Kobe Bryant, but that don't mean like, okay, he's going to be late to practice every day. You know what I mean? So I think that plays a huge part, and that's what people should focus on more than just having some good film. You know what I mean?
Before moving on, you keep saying a lot about, like, you know, the things that you feel like you wish you would have changed during the college process. And I know the world knows, like, you have a lot of siblings. Did any of your siblings play sports? Because for me, like, my older brother played football, and my dad knew a little bit about the sports side of things, so he always was on me. But for you, what was that like? And did you have people in your corner during that time telling you advice or information on, like, hey, you should stay, but you were like, I don't care, I'm leaving? Yeah. Or what was that like?
I for sure had a lot of people in my corner, mostly my sisters. Yeah. And my mother, of course. She's crazy. But,
in a good way. Yeah.
But yeah, they really called me every day and just say the same shit, like, don't give this up. Like, you know what I mean? Because there was a lot of times where I'm like, bro, I don't want to do this. Like, I didn't even want to do this back in 8th grade. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just doing this because this shit is easy. Right. But I kept getting drilled out of my head, and that's all I would think about every time I would go play. Like, and every time I didn't, and I had attitude in my face, like, I would literally get beat up by all of them.
All of them. They're like, fix your face. That's good. That's good.
Truly thankful for them in all aspects, not even just, you know, how I am as a man to women or men, whoever it is, but just have a mindset as a basketball player as well. They didn't even play basketball. Yeah. And they're teaching me about having a certain type of mindset. So, you know, shout out to them.
Yeah. But that's also so cool, because I always love when sports are like a reflection of real life. Right. And the sport, especially for women, we don't have as much opportunity to go play professionally or have a longevity in whatever sport it might be. Right. But the things that we learn, like we always talk about our work ethic, how we dedicated our time and our energy into our work ethic, because that's what can carry over after the sport is done. Right. So for them to kind of harp on you for that, I'm sure it's had such a huge impact on you outside of basketball as well. I mean, obviously you're still playing, but then just the way that you show up, like you said, as a man, as a human, in relationships, friendships, whatever it might be, all of that stuff is like, that's the controllables. That's what you can take with you throughout life, no matter what it is. Right. But on those days when you were feeling like you didn't want to play, or you were kind of over it, you're having like this burnout feeling, what was the mindset behind that? What made you want to keep showing up? Even, I guess want might not be the right word, but what allowed you to keep showing up in a way that you did to get you as far as you are right now?
2 things. One is going to sound really corny, but it works. I promise you.
Usually the most corny things as a therapist, I find myself saying, like, I literally just tell my clients, I'm like, this is cringe, but it's true.
No, I get you on that, actually. I watch my own highlights. Okay. I would sit there and watch it over and over and over and over again, because then that puts like a mental of like, I was happy in all those moments because I did something right. You know what I mean? I don't look at it as like, oh, I killed
Look what I'm doing,
like,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm like, damn, like I felt good when I play like that, when I move like this. So I would take that, and then next day at practice have that same mindset and do it, and you know what I mean, in person.
That's actually great advice.
Yeah,
that's actually great advice.
And then 2, I would just watch Kobe, not even just him playing, but just all his interviews and stuff like that, because he's a very intellectual man, and like he's gonna make sure you got that real mindset. So just those 2 things, probably.
Yeah. That reminds me of when we were leading workshops at a team camp a few weeks ago. I led the girls through an exercise I like to call it like the power word, kind of like reset word intervention that we start off with like a little visualization. And we had them talking with their teammates about a game or moments when they felt really confident, having that like flow state, literally creating your own highlight reel in your mind, pinpointing some of the things that you were doing physically, and then going back to, okay, what was my self-talk like during that? How did I feel emotionally? And then creating a word from there to kind of have that like power word or your reset word. And that, it just reminded me of like what you said of watching your own highlight reel and using that to boost your confidence, using that to get the, like literally watching that increases the dopamine levels in your body.
Yeah.
And from there, the motivation will rise.
Right.
And so that is such a, like, I don't think that's corny at all. I think that's honestly a perfect thing to do for all athletes. And I even remember doing that too. Like when you said you played like maybe 4 minutes a game. I think I played like 4 minutes in 4 years. Just kidding. I actually played 30 minutes in one of the games in my senior year. But anyways, there was this day when I was like, okay, I feel like I've forgotten how to play basketball.
Right.
And so I went to my like little huddle at the time. Like it was so compared to the highlight reels they have now, like so vintage. Yeah. But it's the same feeling of like, okay, no, that's me. Like I'm here for a reason. I can do this shit.
Literally.
Yeah. So I love that.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay, so you're at Fresno. What was your experience like there? If you want to get into it, okay, we don't have to get into it.
No, we can get into it.
Oh, okay.
But
what were some of the things that like stood out to you most from being there?
the fact that I joined the fraternity.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I think that should explain everything.
Oh my goodness.
Basketball wasn't the focus.
Wait, what fraternity?
I didn't know this.
Sigma Chi.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to sit out because you know the transfer rule.
Mm.
I had to sit out, and I wasn't traveling. Like all I had to do was go to 2 classes in the morning. I had the rest of the day. I'm just at the crib, just chilling.
Yeah.
And I had 2 teammates who had joined the fraternity. I'm like, why y'all joining the fraternity? Like, what's so fun about that shit? And I would see all the fun they were having, and that just reminded me of like, damn, before basketball, I wanted to have that life, like, you know what I mean, like have fun and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? I got all this time. Like, they're not worried about me. Like, they worry about the players that are playing. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna just do it.
Yeah.
And so I did that shit. And yeah, so, but that's not even like the worst of the worst.
Did you like that experience or?
Honestly, yeah, I did.
Okay.
It taught me a lot. It was like a lot of.
I'm waiting for the bet.
You know, the initiation process was kind of
No,
crazy.
I don't even like that.
Yeah.
I hate that exists.
Yeah.
One of my friend's little brothers is going through it right now, and I'm like, there's no way like that this is legal. And then his frat ended up getting shut down, actually. So.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. But, you know, although it's not like too much hazing, there's a lot of deep stuff that go behind it too, because it is a brotherhood and you have to learn a lot of stuff about it. So you got to make sure like you're cool, you're within like yourself.
Yeah.
So I did learn a lot of like self-reflection type of things that'll help me. Like looking in the mirror and like really looking at yourself for like 2 minutes straight, don't move. Like you really see like into your own soul. That's it's so crazy.
Little mirror work.
Yeah, for sure. But then going into the fraternity, like I met a lot of people that I went to high school with that I would see around, but like weren't actually friends with, but I could be friends with because I literally spent 2 years with you or whatever it was.
Right.
So it was cool. I got to reconnect with them, and then now they my brothers for life. So,
I love that.
yeah, for sure.
Hey athletes, it's Haley Herdman, host of Mental Training Room. Also, mental performance coach and mental health therapist. If you're listening to this, I know you're putting the work into your physical game. But what are you doing for your mental game? That's where I come in. I work with athletes, teams, and parents to build confidence, handle pressure, and develop the mindset it takes to perform at your best and be considered mentally elite. Whether it's through one-on-one coaching, team sessions, or parent workshops, I'm here to help you train the mind like you train your body. Want to work together? Reach out on Instagram at mtr.pod or visit haleyherdman.com to get started.
So what went into you then wanting to transfer from Fresno?
I had got a concussion after like the 6th game of the season, and I was out for like 2.5 months, and it was a red shirt who got me in, you know what I mean? So that was just like, you know what? Like the coaches weren't really worried about me. the players weren't really worried about me. I was not involved with them, even off the court. So it just, and I started catching myself at the fraternity house more than my own, you know what I mean, apartment. And so when it got to that point, I'm like, do I even love basketball anymore? And so when I started putting myself in the portal and getting offers, I'm like, you know what? Like, I feel like me going to a D2 will help me get in that mode of like how I used to feel.
Yeah.
Right.
And it did. And so, but just that whole mindset, that whole summer, even half the season that I didn't play, I was just depressed kind of. I was struggling in education wise. And I just need to get back in that mode. So I think that transfer I did was probably one of the smartest things that I did. Even though it was D2, it did put me back in that mode for sure.
right.
Both with education and basketball. So
Yeah.
The word shame comes to mind. But was there any shame or like anything that maybe went into the ego of it all, of going from D1 to D2? Because I know you mentioned at the beginning of saying like, okay, there was like mid-major schools that were recruiting you and you were like, okay, I want to see if I can get a little bit better than this. But then to see the growth or the difference of, okay, going from Utah, Pac-12 to like a more mid-major school and then to D2.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's no judgment from us. We know what goes into being a D1 athlete, and it's a lot.
yeah.
And there were moments where I was feeling the same way as well, but overall it was either I was at the school I was at or I just wasn't playing basketball.
Yeah.
And I just didn't want to give up basketball. But it sounds like that was, like you said, like that was such a great decision for you.
Right.
But I'm curious to know if any of that kind of like ego, shame came into play when you were making that decision.
No, I would say maybe shame a little bit, just because I was ashamed of how I spent my career. But not really too much like ego type stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
I would say after I got that awakening at Utah, my ego went away out the drain.
Yeah.
Even going back home.
Yeah.
Of course, I had like this hometown hero type of plan, but
Yeah.
like even my ego was like, nah, like it's not going to be easy, which
Yeah.
it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What I think about is because I was able to transfer from LMU to CBU, and I obviously had a different outlook on what I was looking for when I transferred.
Right.
So from going to Utah to Fresno and having the experience that you had at Fresno, do you think that you could have made a different decision on picking Fresno through the recruiting process? And like for the viewers, like who are in the same process or going to college for the first time, knowing, okay, this is what I experienced at Utah. I should have asked these questions when I was going on my visit to Fresno or talking to different coaches. Like you said, you had 8 different options. So would you have done that differently?
Yeah, I probably, like I said, I wouldn't have picked Fresno, knowing what I know now. I didn't know like coming home was going to have so many distractions with it. Like, even though you may feel like comfortable with your family being around, but like they want all your time.
Yeah.
And like you kind of get distracted and wanting to go be with them and be a family person because you were so far away from them for so long. Having them every day at your disposal is a lot different. And then you start seeing old friends who are getting caught up in the wrong things and you start doing the same things. So yeah, I would have never chose Fresno. I should have went back to Utah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. But,
With the Fresno process regarding coaches and the program, because you said, you know, they weren't really worried about you. They kind of just did their own thing.
right.
Would you have asked different questions for coaches and teammates that you before going there?
Yeah, because I was so worried about just coming home. Like I didn't ask questions about how things would be.
Yeah.
How, like even asking certain players like certain questions about the coaches or how it is on campus or how it is like as like a whole unit in the athletic program or whatever it is. I didn't ask none of those questions. I just asked, hey, like,
Get to go home.
is there yeah, like, you know, where the party's at? Like, you know what I mean? I was in the middle of my career, so I wasn't really worried about nothing and I knew I had a red shirt. So I wasn't worried about anything basketball related.
Yeah.
It makes me think of how different it is nowadays to transfer. Like now it's, if you transfer and you don't like it, okay, you can, I mean, for you, you did leave again, but it's different. Now it's like, you don't even have to have that red shirt year.
No.
Which is honestly like, it's good for it's good for the individual, just not the program. So I guess like if we're prioritizing like the individual needs and everything, it's great, but it just gives it a different, it gives the teams a different vibe. But in that stage of your career, it sounds like you might have had, like your mindset was maybe a little bit different than it was going into college from high school. What was your mindset like going from Fresno to Dominguez Hills?
Kind of like how my mindset was with that last summer that I had to play AAU before going to Utah. Like, this is it. Yeah. I knew like after that I couldn't transfer again. And that was going to be my moment where I could pop off, whether it was D2 or not. And I was worried about like NBA scouts, like overseas scouts, like worrying about if me going to D2 was a problem. But it's like you're gonna attract people just based off your film and how you play anyway. So you might as well just take it, you know, as it is. So I just was like, you know what, like fuck it, like we got to go to work. Like, so my work ethic had never been like that ever in my whole career, and I was chasing something. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had to get it done. That brought me back to watching my old high school highlights from then, and then being like, okay, like I got to start playing like this. I got to be in that mode. And then, you know, so.
I could attest to that because when you transferred to Cal State Dominguez, Kevin, my boyfriend, was watching you play, and he's like, "Oh shit! Like Chris is really on this type of timing. Like he's back. Like he would watch your games and say that." So I could attest that he did.
Thank you, my brother.
That's such a great and positive note to just end your college career on as well.
For real.
And giving you that confidence boost to take your game to the next level, because I'm sure if maybe you ended how you felt at Fresno, you might not have maybe even had the motivation to go overseas.
Right.
So to go into this transition from college to professional, that confidence boost is such a great foundation to have at that stage.
Right.
What was that transition like for you in the process of like signing with agents, finding the place to go, and then being actually overseas playing basketball? Because we know that there's so many mental health challenges that come with that. So can you kind of walk us through that process a little bit for you?
Well, after the season ended, things just started kind of happening. Like I was having interviews with all these agents, and then which was surprising coming from D2. But all these interviews, and then I had to wait a little bit, just stay in the gym. That was like a 3 times a day type of thing, because I was not about to blow the opportunity. And so eventually I finally got to a point where I signed my first contract. I think it was that August. And then left in and was out there for about 5 months, and it was rough. It was rough. But my mindset going in was just like, okay, I got to kill. Like this is like a kind of like a fresh slate. Like when I first got to Utah, and I had that certain mindset of, oh, I'm big dog on campus. Like, no, I can't have that. Like, because I'm going against other grown men who are also pros. Like, then this is a job. Like, I can't fuck up, because if I fuck up, then I'm out of here. It's cutthroat. So I had to just make sure like people saw me when I walk in, like, oh shit, like this guy don't play. Like we got to raise our shit up. And so it transferred, but you know, we sucked as a team. But I mean, all our guys we was in it though. You know what I mean? So I think I just made that impact. And kind of switch the culture around. So really but overall, like mentally while being there, it's tough, you know.
Was the first country you were in, was it an English-speaking country, or do they speak another language?
They spoke Albanian.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that's always an
Culture
added
shock.
factor.
Yeah.
So the amount of Albanian I learned, mostly like cussing and shit. Like,
Oh, wow.
you know, 'cause my coach, when he get mad, like he just start talking.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's tough. You know, you can't really communicate with everybody. You got to pull out your phone, Google Translator. And if that don't work, 'cause you ain't got no Wi-Fi, no service, so you just lost. But I just caught myself like just in my room every day, because it was dangerous. And there was really nothing to do. So I just was in my room literally all day, just rotting, just journaling, meditating, watching videos. But it helped me, because now I'm really big on meditation, like hot yoga and stuff like that, like mental clearness and stuff. So it's those type of experiences that I've had that shaped me as well too, as being a man. So
it's great that we were able to use that time to kind of hone in on those skills. Because for a lot of people, like they're not maybe aware of it, or it's harder for them to adapt and to find something that they can spend their time doing. I know my dad, he played overseas in Belgium years ago, but it was so hard for him. And he kind of went into like a shell of anxiety and depression because it was so hard to deal with that transition for him, being away from family. I mean, I'm very much a family person, and I get it from him and my mom because they're very close to their family. So it was even a point where like my mom had to go over with him and like be with him for whatever amount of months because it was just so hard to be so isolated from everybody.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, amazing that you were able to find some mental tools that help you kind of become resilient. And then again, going back to like the work ethic of what we were saying, those are controllables. Those are things that you can take into other areas of your life.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah. Do you have any advice for people that might be struggling overseas or like anything that you would want to share with people going through that experience?
I would say two things. One, if like film your whole experience and like every week, like go back and watch all the videos you made throughout that week and kind of like see how your mindset fluctuates.
Yeah.
And then try to like fix it to where you can have the same mindset that you had one of those days, which is probably like a really good one.
Yeah.
And so like, I feel like then meditating about it and then kind of like manifesting like, okay, I want this type of mentality for this week and then this week and then this week. So that's what I used to do. I used to just film like random videos of me doing
That's
random
so
shit.
cool.
If I felt good,
Yeah.
I'm really big on that. Like just watching back on stuff like that make you feel good. Like,
Well, the reason why that works, to bring in like a little clinical part of that, is because you're literally, it's not just like a lifestyle. It's not just like, oh, manifest and like, I'm going to say this out loud and it's going to happen.
Right.
You're literally training your brain to think a certain way.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's a neurological feedback loop.
Yeah.
That the
shit
more
works.
you say it to yourself, the more you start to believe it, the more you act in it. It's classic cognitive behavioral therapy when it's the thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Like we're all connected. We all have this cycle. And to be able to control it, you have to identify it first. And it sounds like that's what you did.
With the video.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So
This episode is sponsored by Defend USA, performance and recovery apparel designed for athletes who know that the mental and physical recovery go hand in hand. Defend's graduated compression technology enhances performance by improving circulation, reducing muscle fatigue, and increasing endurance during workouts. Designed for athletes of all levels, it also supports faster recovery by minimizing soreness and promoting better post-training blood flow. Just like we train the mind, we have to take care of the body. And Defend helps you do both. Check them out at dfndusa.com and use code MTR10 for 10% off. Train hard, recover smarter, perform stronger with Defend USA.
you've played college basketball, you've played overseas, and now, how old are you?
27.
Okay, now you're 27 years old. And you go overseas, but in a different way, in a different form.
Right.
Introducing yourself to literally the entire world. I don't know, does the
National
entire
TV.
world have, I don't think
Yes.
Australia has USA, but anyways, most everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so many questions. So the world right now may know you as Chris from Love Island.
Yeah.
Obviously, there is so much more to you, just like how we just got into it.
Right.
But this experience that you had in Fiji has obviously been very impactful to you and on your life
Yeah.
and the way that people view you.
Right.
Personally, I think you did such a phenomenal job. And I know that's not obviously what you just did for the cameras. Like that is who you are as a human.
Thanks.
And you showed so much respect, so much grace, so much emotional maturity, which learning more about you today, we can understand why. All the things that you learned from your, all the adversity you went through, all the things you might have learned from your mom, your sisters, from basketball, all of that, I'm sure really played into the experience and the energy that you brought into Love Island. So I kind of want to start from the beginning of that. You obviously were in Casa Amor, which means you entered the show a little bit later than like the OGs did.
Right.
When you were talking about your experience overseas, being in the hotel room, like doing meditation, isolation, it made me think of kind of what that experience maybe was like for you waiting to go onto the show.
3 weeks before.
What was that experience like for you, waiting to go onto the show? And what was your self-talk like during those, what was it, 3 weeks?
3 weeks, yeah.
The first week was probably the toughest, just because I haven't been that long without having my phone or any access to the outside world. So that was really tough. But I would say the cast management there, they did a decent job, like making sure we got out the hotel room, like going on a walk to the gym or going to the pool, like whatever it was, like little activities and stuff. That kind of helped, because I kind of just caught myself being like, no, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay in here until it's my time. Just watching Netflix or sometimes just sitting there in silence. But after that, of course, throughout that whole process, maybe like twice a week, you're meeting with psych people just to make sure you're not mentally going insane.
Really?
So that was very helpful. And then it made me get back into journaling and like full on meditations throughout the day. And I would just set my mindset just to be patient. Like, don't want something. Of course, you can want something and ask for that, but like just having the patience to wait to see if you get it was more important to me. Just because I was like, nah, like either I'm going in like a couple of days or I'm leaving. Like, I don't give a damn. But at me setting my mindset to be like, no, you'll be okay. Like, no matter how long it is, like that made me, it turned out, as it is now. So truly thankful for that. And I will never forget those 3 weeks that I spent in the hotel room for sure.
So you, during that process, you don't know if you're going to get on the show. So you're just waiting.
There were a few people
that didn't.
Maybe like a dozen who got flown out and didn't even make the show.
And they had to wait the entire time?
Yeah, they probably had gotten flown out like around when the OGs and some of the bombshells flew in, but just never made it. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
That's tough.
It's crazy.
It's a lot on the emotional well-being and just your nervous system in general.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like those were the things that I was wondering. This was like my first season watching Love Island because I knew you were going to be on it.
Yeah.
Was that was just my, like, as maybe it's just because I'm a therapist and like I have a clinical mindset, but it's like, what? Like, I can't even imagine how these people are feeling. Like, we see heightened emotions. We see people cussing people out, crying, all of this stuff. But it's like, yes, the public can have the views and their opinions on that, but we don't know what it's like to be isolated. We don't know what it's like, these people's traumas or their like attachment styles, their like the way that they grew up with their families. Like, we don't see any of that. We just see how they're portrayed. And then it's easy for people sitting on their couch drinking a margarita to judge these people.
Exactly.
For sure.
But you guys are actually like, you're putting yourself out there. You're being vulnerable on television. You don't know what people are thinking of you.
Right.
Like, that is just such a wild experience. Like, I literally
social
can't.
experiment.
Yeah, I cannot
for real,
wrap my head around it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand why certain people want to even hate on that.
Right.
And they don't think like how you just said, but like you said, they on their couch just looking for entertainment.
Yeah.
Drinking liquor
And
and
that's
shit.
what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel like being a basketball player, all the adversity that you went through helped you deal with that emotional side of this experience that you just had?
When you get awakened by reality, I was big on like choosing my battles on the Villa. And so, yeah, for sure. So
Well said.
Before that, where the mindset came in was like, when a coach was upset that even though I was doing something right, like the littlest thing, I would do something wrong, he would still get on me. I'm like, why do I keep catching myself trying to argue with this man? Like, obviously, like, he's my coach. Like, let me just take whatever he's saying, just move on, like, just pick your battles. And so that developed in, okay, like, whenever my coach or my GM or one of my players was trying to get on me and I'm like, I didn't agree, I'll just be like, all right, bro, like, whatever, like, don't even give him that energy, you know what I mean? Because as soon as even if, no matter what I say, if I give that energy back, now it's a conflict.
Right.
And I don't do that shit.
Yeah.
So no matter what it was, even in the Villa, I'm like, okay, like, you know what? My bad, whatever, cool, move on. Because I'm not about to sit here and worry about it and argue with somebody.
But also, like, so much respect for that, because I feel like a lot of people, and we touched on ego a little bit.
Right.
And I feel like that when people want to get into that argument, when people want to kind of put up a fight, stand their ground, obviously, yes, like advocate for yourself, always speak your mind, but also knowing that sometimes you're winning when you just let the other person say what they want to say. Because deep down in yourself, even not deep down, like you just know you're able to tell yourself, okay, this isn't personal. Like this is what this person is going through, what they're experiencing. Everyone has their own perception, which is their reality. And for you to understand that and take that into consideration, or for anyone to do that, is just so emotionally mature.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm pretty emotionally mature, but there was many moments when my boyfriend and I were watching the show and we were just so frustrated because we wanted you to just like go in and not respectfully, but like there was just so many moments where I felt that there was times where you could have said what it really was, but you just stood back and kind of took it and just let it be what it was and let that other individual have their moment. And that was hats off to you because I was frustrated watching.
I think even with who my opponent was, I had to find a way to be like, to act like that because she would get me in some moods mentally that I was like, whoa, I ain't feel like this in a minute. Like,
it was so frustrating.
This feels like the most toxic thing I've ever engaged in. I've only known this girl for a week. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I had to really like bow down and learn like, okay, like do not argue. Like, pick your battles.
Yeah.
And she actually learned something from that too.
I think so too.
And also realizing that like that other person or anyone else, if we're talking about relationships in general, like you said, with your coach, everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own experiences that are making them act this way or making them choose certain behaviors or choices of words, whatever it might be, because it's probably what they were modeled or whatever it might be. And realizing like, okay, that is okay and I can respect that, but it's not my job to like fix somebody else. It's not my job to put up with that when it's causing me stress. Or messing up my energy, my mood. It's like this person might just not fit into what I'm looking for. And I think we can take that lesson for anybody dealing with teammates, dealing with coaches, dealing with athletic trainers. Like I remember in like our freshman year when there was like those arguments that we wanted to kind of get in with our athletic trainer because like maybe we didn't agree or it made us feel some type of way, what something they said. So knowing that also comes into play is like everyone is bringing their own experiences to the table. And especially like in this experience, it's so unique because now we can find out anything about anyone on social media, but it's like, you don't know these people. You're not able to Google them. You're not able to like, oh, do they have siblings? Do they have, whatever it might be. So it is just such a unique experience. And it's really, really interesting to hear how athletics kind of helped you prepare or not even helped you prepare like specifically, but just again, going back to the tangibles of, okay, I'm not on the basketball court. I'm not on a team, but I can still use what I learned from that experience into this new environment.
I think another perspective that the world has perceived Chris as is being avoidant because of the moments where you were like, okay, like I'm just going to let you have it. You do you. I'm going to do my own thing. Like I'm not going to let you ruin my energy, but you're only human to have like a facial expression or, like a lot of people don't know the experience of being on set for 12 hours a day and, having to deal with an individual who is very different. And people perceived you as avoidant. But in my perspective, if roles were reversed, the world would perceive you as an aggressor and this and that. And
Worst dude ever.
Worst dude ever. And I was like, how is that fair? And it's the same thing with sports. Like coaches have this line that you don't cross, but as humans, athletes, we can't cross that line. And if we do, we don't get playing time. We don't this. So I think that was a great lesson that you were able to take to the Villa and, show the world that side of you. Because I mean, if the roles were reversed, like I said, it wouldn't have been fair for her or, perceived the way that it was for that individual.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to ask you, what was it like for you, or what were the feelings or emotions going into when you found out you could play basketball in Fiji?
Yeah.
Honestly, even though it wasn't like an actual game, I was like, okay, this is where I like shine. Like,
Right.
I
Yeah.
did like some mean camera time.
Yeah. and you did.
So I was like, okay, I gotta take full advantage because it's gonna be me and Pepe. Like,
Right.
I mean, we both are
Cook
pro
Pepe.
basketball. Yeah.
Sorry.
Shout
You
out to
cook Pepe.
Nah. But I was happy as hell. Like that's why I said like that was probably my favorite day because I got to do something that I love with dudes that I'm building this brotherhood with.
Yeah.
Like, of course, like they get to see me in that light. Like they could be like, "Oh shit, Chris, like that's tough," like which they did, and so like that's why I said that was like my favorite day. So, but
I remember being so happy for you.
Yeah, when they said
Like, because you are so isolated, obviously, in the villa and limited access to other things. So not only to be leaving the villa, but then to be doing something that you love, like that's so awesome. I'm like, oh, he needed this. I'm sure he needed it.
I needed that, especially dealing with my opponent. Like,
Did you dunk on anybody?
did.
Okay.
But I'm not the type to brag.
We don't
about
have
it.
to. Yeah, we don't have to name names.
We know.
But they know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The real no.
Okay. To finish it off, Nay has
Yes.
some fun questions for you.
Okay,
let's get
so we're going to do a little bit of a would you rather.
Okay.
So the first question, be the last one picked in open gym or the last one standing single at a recoupling? Ooh.
For sure, the last one in the open gym.
Oh,
Really?
okay.
Because I'm like the underdog.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so locker room drama or villa drama?
Ooh, for entertainment or for
No, for you personally.
Yeah.
Like, what would you rather
Experiencing,
deal with? Yeah.
I would rather deal with locker room drama.
Okay.
That's good.
'Cause-
You haven't been in a girl's locker room. Okay, so twerk for Meg Thee Stallion on national TV or airball a free throw to win a championship game.
Ooh. I'm
twerking.
airballing. I'm
Yeah, I would
airballing.
so airball too.
I'm airballing.
Really?
I'm not
Yes,
twerking
are you
nothing.
kidding
You're not
me?
gonna hit a Austin?
That's all I was thinking of is if I was literally they definitely wouldn't pick me to put it on TV, but I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no freak. Like, I would voluntarily leave the villa.
Okay, get roasted by your coach or get roasted by Ian Sterling.
Ian Sterling.
You already were kind of roasted by him.
I already know. And I got beef with him.
We told you one of the ones that he said, right? Or
What
did
was
you
he-
watch
what
back?
did he say?
When he said that you looked like you just got off the shift at Foot Locker.
So rude.
Oh,
What a
God.
No, but rather him because with a coach, it could be a little bit personal. sometimes.
Yeah, they dig deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so lastly, what piece of advice would you tell your younger self?
Probably to not change internally. Because as you go through a process, or for basketball example, like it's always a competition, and maybe like you won't get somewhere and you're like inspired by somebody, you want to act like them, or whatever the situation is. Like as long as you don't lose yourself internally and you don't switch like who you are, then you'll be okay. Like for me, like I've always been taught to be emotionally mature and all these different things. So like when I got to the villa and I hadn't changed who I was as a person ever, like that helped me in my situation. So I would feel like when I went through those egotistical battles within early college and middle of college, like what I told myself in high school, or even before then, like just still be yourself. Like don't switch up just because you got this little clout or fame or whatever it is. Like always stay true. Which I kind of have, but I had my little issues doing it during the journey. But we made it through. So I'll probably say that. For sure.
I would say I experienced that with you and my boyfriend, like firsthand, when you called him. Like I don't know if he was like the first person you called, but like right out the villa, you called him and you said, you were telling the experience that you had, and then you're like, hold on, I need to get this out there that like me and your brotherhood is not changing.
Hell
Like,
no.
regardless of the fame. Like that was the first thing that you said, and that was a really good and heartfelt moment that I got to experience between you guys. And I need the world to know that. So, yeah.
That's my
He
brother
has
for
We love
life.
Chris.
Yeah.
That's my little bro.
Oh,
I'll never switch up. known that boy since he was, 12?
Yeah.
Something like that. So. That's really little bro. I could cry right now.
Oh,
Like,
stop.
okay,
We welcome tears. We welcome tears on the
even just
pod.
seeing him right now grown at 25, I'm like, damn, like, shit. I'm so proud of him. But
That's beautiful.
love you, bro.
Well, thank you so much, Chris, for your insight, for the pieces
Getting
of
vulnerable.
advice
Of
you
course.
shared
Thank you
with
guys.
us
I
today.
appreciate you.
You are truly such an amazing human, and we're lucky to know you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for coming to the Mental Training Room.
That's it for today in the Mental Training Room.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram at mtr.pod to stay up to date with all things mental training.